Hey guys, good evening. Andito na naman tayo. But first, we got to share. Nag-share muna tayo. $3 million in the house. Yes, Sarah. And Maya Lee Vlog. Okay. Uy, maingay. Jane Rivera. Okay, noted. Magandang gabi din sa iyo, Jane Rivera. Okay. So, pupunta muna tayo sa ating attendance. Maya Lee Vlog. Okay. Si Sarah, you have complete. So, you have to advance 2 ka, Sarah, ngayon. Si Maya Lee Vlog, parang ngayon ka lang nakabalik ulit. Okay, so bibigyan kita ng Maya Lee. Okay, bigyan kita ng 2 points. Point system tayo kasi dito. Pagdating ng 5 points, 1 raffle entry. So, we have Jane Rivera. Si Jane nung nakaraan ay okay, na-complete mo rin, Jane, yung last mo na ano. So, bibigyan kita ng 2 points. Si Sarah, 2 points. Tapos si Maya Lee Vlog, 2 points. SG Nevada. Si SG Nevada ay meron kang 4 points. So, you have 1 raffle entry at isang 1 advance. So, you have 1 raffle entry, SG Nevada. Okay. May 1 raffle entry ka ngayon. And 1 advance. Yes. Sunod ay si Sir Hill. Sir Hill, meron kang 2 points noong Thursday. So, plus 2 points ka ngayon. So, you have 4. You have 4. Next, si Shirley Daog. Shirley, you have 4 points ka nung last. So, you have 1 raffle entry and 1 advance. Si Shirley Daog. Yes, we have Glycel. Okay, si Glycel ay meron 2 points ka nung nakaraan nating ano. So, you have plus 2 is 4 points ka ngayon, Glycel. Yes. Sino pa? Sa SG Nevada meron na. Okay. Yes. So yung may mga 4 points, madali na kayo makapag mamaya pag nag-stay. Stay pa konti kayo. Ano ba to? Bakit may mga dito? Yung umaakyat na langgam. Ayun, mabasa yung ating Okay. Yes. Mag-share muna ako. Ay. Padamsak muna kayo sa vlog Lucano. Tamsak muna tayo dito, guys. Tamsak na lang muna. Tamsakan na lang natin muna itong binaba kong link. Yes. You have additional points pag nagtamsak kayo dyan. Additional 1 points. Additional 1 points. Mahina na naman yung net. Nako. Wala na naman yung Yes, good evening sa lahat. Sabi ni MM, noted na M. Yes, nagtamsak ka. So you have So 1 point plus 2 points yung pagpunta mo doon. Ikaw ba yung una? Ikaw yung una, you have 3 points. Tingnan ko, sisilipin ko ulit. Okay. Paki-hashtag day niya lang, ha? May hashtag day niya kang nilagay. Mahina yung net. Sobrang hina na naman si net. Yes, tamsak dan sa kay Sob. Kaya sisilipin ko yung mga ano dito. Wala kang iniwan na, wala kang iniwan, M? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ang message. Okay, mag-iwan ng bakas, ha? Paiwan ng bakas. Pati kay Don Leon Tagle. Ay, si Don Leon Tagle. Naiano ko na ba? Hindi pa yata. Okay, pati kay Don Leon Tagle. Paano? Patamsak na rin. Okay, so noted ka, Ems. You have 3 points. Meron ka dati na complete ka dati pala na. So you have another 3 points sa ngayon. MM Ganoria, 3 points. Di po maka-comment, ma'am. Tamsak lang. Naka-off comment ba siya? Tingnan ko. Oh, sige, okay. Hindi, naka-open yung comment section niya. Di ba naka-open? Okay, so kay ano naman, kay ano tayo, kay Don Leon Tagle. Punta tayo kay Don Leon Tagle. Ikaw lang, Ems, ang dumidikit dyan. Kaya pagka dumikit ka, kapag ka magtamsa ka kay Don Leon Tagle, makabuo ka ng isang raffle entry. Kasi ang iba hindi nakikinig. O wala na yata sila. Wala na agad. Grabe. Kapapasok lang, ha. Kapapasok lang, wala na agad. Share na din po. Done kay Don Leon Tagle. Okay. So you have 1 raffle entry, Ems. Complete mo na yung 5 points. MM Ganoria. Okay, back to 0. O mag-earn ka naman ng points. Okay, so you have here already. Meron ka na. Lesson presentation. Another points tayo. Ay, ano? Si Chippy. Yung nagpapanalo sa akin ng 200 bananas. Sandaling ko muna. Chippy. Naka-online yata yung Chippy TV. Tingnan ko nga kung naka-online siya. Mahina yung net, sobra. Wala, ikot-ikot lang siya. Ayan na. Ayan, naka-live siya. Okay, mag-share nga muna pala ako. Hindi pa ako nakapag-share. Avinash, okay, good evening. Yeah. Avinash, okay, you can go to the link that I have brought down and like, just do the like and also dikit-dikit if you have not yet dikit sa kanila ha. Share lang muna ako. Malu, okay, Malu. Siya. Meron ka dating record dito, Malu. Teka, titingnan ko ha. Si Malu. Wait mo na. Kailan ba ang huling ano ni Malu dito? Punta? Amy Bandevas, Rose and Philip. Nasaan ang kay Malu? Parang last time yon, Webes ba yon? Teka, titake mo na record. Malu. You have, yes, last time 2 points. So, Malu. Malusia, 77. You have plus 2 points, you have 4. So, pag umabot ka ng 5, may 1 raffle entry ka. Give me points. Oy, Avinash. So, nga pala si Avinash. You have 3 points, Avinash, last time. Plus 2 ngayon. So, you have 1 raffle entry. Back to 0. Okay? But you have, I'll give you 1 raffle entry for you, Avinash. Don't worry. You have your raffle entry. Avinash, okay? So you're back to 0, but you have 1 raffle entry. You earn points by and by after my presentation. You will be earning points just as you listen to the presentation that I'm going to give. Okay, 4 million in the house. 4 million in the house. I'm hungry to points. Okay, welcome. Salamat. Tagalog ang iyong language ha. Okay. Ganoria. Okay, sige Wait lang muna. Share lang ako doon sa, saan na ba ako? Share to, ang hina ng net. Yeah. Hindi pa ako nakapag ano pala. Gonna share. Share lang muna ako ha. Sarah Gay Jane Rivera, okay. Noted kayo mamaya. Mamaya konti. Share lang ako dito sa aking. Parang ang daming mga maliliit. MM, yes. Noted. Share mo na. Okay, so we go to our lesson presentation. To me, ang ating pinaka-title ating lesson for this week, the whole week is Come to Me. Ito ay invitation ng Panginoon sa bawat isa sa atin. So our study cover Matthew 11:20 to 30, Matthew 5, Deuteronomy 18, verse 15, Galatians 5:1, Exodus 18, 13 to 22, and Galatians 6:2. Come to me, all you labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. So ito yung paanyaya ng Panginoon sa atin. Come to me, all you that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11, verse 28. So, dito makikita po natin what a wonderful promise we have been given here by no other than Jesus. This was the invitation that Jesus has given to the disciples and also to everybody in this world right now. And after all, who among us at times hasn't felt heavy laden? Sino ba hindi napapagod? 'Di ba? Lahat naman tayo. We're all um, always aiming for rest, and they're always tired of everything from our physiological, physical, as well as our mental. We are tasked with so many burdens that make us tired and heavy laden. So labor and the heavy ladenness that life itself brings, okay, can bring us this what we call uh, to accept the invitation that God has given us. Yes, ang ganda ng lesson natin ngayon. So He knows that we are going through, and yes, He can help us. That is, if we let Him help us. So, kaya tayo tulungan ng Panginoon. Because, yeah, I know, God, okay, Jesus, and especially we have experienced to be man and to have this heavy laden uh, moments of His life, and that He understands our situation, circumstance that comes into our lives, and He will always help us. Okay, tutulungan niya tayo kapag tayo ay humingi ng tulong sa Kanya. Siyempre, kailangan natin yung that assurance coming from His Word to be fulfilled in us because of our faith, our belief. And then after telling us to bear His yoke, Jesus says, "For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light." My yoke is easy and my burden is light. Matthew 11:30. In other words, get rid of the yokes and burdens that are that you are carrying. Give them to me, Jesus said. And take mine upon yourself instead, for mine are easier to bear. So, kapag nasa Panginoon na tayo ay magaan na dahil mayroon tayong ka-share. Okay, meron tayong helpmeet to meet that burden or to do the um, carrying of that burden that is in us. How can we experience the rest that Jesus is talking about? After all, we live in a world where after sin, the Lord said to Adam, ano sinabi niya kay Adam? In the sweat of your face, you shall eat bread. In the sweat of your face. Sa pawis ng iyong ay ikaw ay kakain ng tinapay. So it means you have to work. You have to work for your provision of your food. And we can read that in Genesis 3:19. Thus we have known what it is and to be carrying the burdens, labor, and burdens that can seem way too hard to bear, at least by ourselves. But it is really easy to bear when Jesus is with us. Kasi tutulungan niya tayo to bear, to lift uh, uh, that burden na naranasan natin. So, para sa bukas natin, tomorrow, I am gentle and lowly in heart, and para bukas pala, I take my yoke upon you. Sunday, I will give you rest. And now we have Tuesday, I am gentle and lowly. And then Wednesday, for my yoke is easy. Yun ang pinasa natin kanina. And my burden is light sa Thursday. So the summary of this will be, we're going to take that up on Thursday, the summary of the whole week's lessons. So for this time, come to me. This is the introduction. Come to me, and you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. In Matthew 11:28, come unto me, all you, lahat. Wala siyang pasubali ang Panginoon, lahat. Okay, come unto me, all you who are heavy, who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. So may God bless us tonight as we contemplate on the lessons that we have studied, and for the whole week we'll be talking about these particular lessons for the week. So we are going to our main topic. Okay, who is there? Sinong nandyan? Okay, para mabigyan ko ng additional points. Press 1. Press 1. Pag walang press 1, ibig sabihin, wala kayo dito nung nagle-lesson ako. So, you can have no points. Okay, si Maya lead log, okay. Yes, Maya, meron ka kanina na 4 points. Okay, nasa na ba kay Maya? Okay. Okay, Maya blog, okay. So you have, ay may 2 points lang pala. 2 points lang pala, ikaw pa lang. So I'll give you another 2 points para isang points na lang. Maya-maya konti, mabubuo mo na yung 4. So si M, okay, si MM, kayong dalawa lang nag-press 1 dyan. Okay, after my lesson presentation. Okay, press 1. Press 1 now. Okay, so I will count 1 to 5 only. Count. So, ibahin natin yung ano. Okay. 1, 2, ay, 2 na pala. Sorry. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Only Maya and MM. Okay, only Maya and MM. Kayong dalawa lang nandyan. At saka 2 million in the house lang. Okay. So, yep, another. Okay, Maya, i-consider na kita para magkaroon ka ng 1 raffle entry. Yes. Si MM plus, ano ka, M kanina naka 1, ano ka M, di ba? So, you have 2 points ulit, MM. Ay, hindi, may 3 points ka na pala kanina. So, MM, okay. Pareho kayo ni ano, mayroong 1 raffle entry. Si Maya at saka ikaw. Okay. Maya and MM. Okay. MM Ganoria. Okay, so back to 0 kayong dalawa ulit. Back to 0. And you'll be earning another points pagkatapos ng main topic ko. If you stay, okay. So, back to zero din si M. Yes, ganun lang kadali makakuha ng points. Malapit na kasi ang ating August sa ating grand live stream. So, our topic tonight is, we have passing the torch. Passing the torch, okay? So, young people cannot avoid choosing a set of values. Sinasabi po dito, what they choose will define their lives. So, kung ano yung kanilang napili, yun na yung maging sila. Okay. So, we have, as parents, we care deeply that our children adopt as their own the moral and spiritual values that we cherish. So, ibig sabihin, the parents, we are the model. Okay. We are modeling for them. So, right, how are faith and values passed on the fragmented self-centered world? So, ang ating mundo ay tinatawag na self-centered world. And Dr. Merton Stroman, founder of Search Institute and renowned author of Five Cries of the Youth, a Christian lifestyle magazine, telecast. This article includes some of Dr. Stroman's views from the show. Sabi niya, according to, there has been a shift in values that continues to this day. So a shift toward self-centeredness, self-gratifying behavior, and that permits all the modern life. So ito yung modern na buhay ng mga kabataan at yung mga tao as well. So there has been a shift, sabi niya, that continues to this day. Before divorce was frowned upon the harmful children, sabi niya. Afterwards, it was increasingly viewed as necessary step in finding oneself. So, nang na-introduce ang divorce, dito nagkaroon ng tinatawag na change. There was a change, or there was a shift of these values. Before, having money was something that gave a personal special obligation to help others. And later, it became a means of acquiring power, things, and even people. Noon dati kasi walang pera. Yung pera nung panahon na yon ay they have in terms of coins, parang gold, silver, parang ganun pinakaano nila. Pero ngayon, we have that money na pwede sa paper, pwede sa coins, but dahil ito ay nabibili niya ang kahit ano. And sinasabi nga dito, even people. Okay, buying even people, pati mga tao binibili. Okay, is this true? Yes, okay. So, before, service-oriented careers were popular among college students. Dati wala yung service-oriented careers ay naging popular sa mga college student wherein you can what? You can have skills and then you can do the service in a way that you will be paid. Now we face acute shortage of many service professions. Ngayon nawawala na. And because of that, young people cannot avoid choosing a set of values. What they choose will define their lives. So kung ano yung napili nila, iyon na sila. Okay, ito yung magde-define ng kanilang buhay. We parents are not powerless in the struggle for the values. Hindi tayo, wala kapangyarihan. Meron tayong magagawa, kumbaga. In the struggle for values of our children. Type of family in which young people are raised and still the greatest indicator of values they will hold. Our greatest enemy is not society's value. It is our own apathy and carelessness. Yan. Our own apathy and carelessness in transmitting what we hold dear. Kung ano yung mahalaga sa atin, ito yung natatransmit natin sa ating mga anak. So these are at least there are at least 6 powerful ways adults can communicate life-affirming values to young people. So number 1, we have is the congenial relationship. When a friendly relationship exists between adult and the young people or young person, the young person tends to adopt the values of that particular adult. So values are communicated even when not verbalized. Hindi mo na kailangan sabihin because nakikita na nila yon. Nakikita na ng mga bata, the young can see in you the values even though you are not to tell them about it because they have seen the manner or in the way you live and in the way you set priorities for your own uh, as an individual or in your homes. So here we can um, sa isang final doctoral orals na ginawa sa author na to ni Dan Matthew ay tinanong, Stroman, you are a pastor. Kay Stroman pala, you are a pastor. Suppose one of your parishioner needs psychiatric care. Halimbawa, kailangan ng isa psychiatric care and the only psychiatrist in your small town is an HS. Ang kaisa-isang psychiatrist na nandun sa inyong lugar ay isang HS. So yung iyong parishioner na nangangailangan ng psychiatric care ay need niya yung psychiatric care na yun. Pero sa iyong muni-muni o sa survey sa inyong lugar ay ang psychiatrist na available ay he's the only one is an HS. Ibig sabihin ng HS, hindi siya naniniwala sa Diyos. Yun ang psychiatrist na available. So, ano yung gagawin mo? Would you recommend that to your parishioner being the pastor of your place? In answering the question, sabi niya, results of Rosenberg study. It found out that when a therapist establishes a good relationship with a client, kapag may good relationship ang client at saka yung therapist, yung nagbibigay ng care, and treatment progresses well, the client values and beliefs shift forward toward those of the therapist. So napunta sa therapist ang attention ng kanyang pasyente. So what he believes or whatever things that he values most. And even though they were never discussed or even voiced by the therapist, nandoon yung kanyang pagtitiwala doon sa nagbibigay ng care. Kasi meron progress ang kanyang o may development yung that therapist is doing to the person who is supposed to be the patient. So I later found this same phenomenon to major studies of Research Institute. And they conduct an experience study for National Institute of the Mental Health. At sabi na dito, they were trying to to determine which of the three training methods was most effective in helping. The study included three expert teachers. One was a committed Christian. Ang pangalawa ay an, an antagos, antagnostic. Antagnostic. At ang pangatlo naman was a nominal church member. So, tatlo yung kanilang pinag-aaralan. Yung isa, pareho silang teachers ang isa ay committed Christian. The other one was an antagnostic, and the third was a nominal church member. And the teachers trained some young adults who were trained high school youth. So mga high school yung kanilang pinag-aaralan with their experiment. And they were shocked by the result that the high school youth trained under the young adult, who were in turn under the tutelage of the committed Christian, showed significant increase in religion interest and participation, or religious interest. Those under the youth trained by the nominal church members showed no change, but those under the tutelage of those trained by the agnostic showed a decline in religious interest. So, makikita dito na the shift of values of those youth under the supervision of these three teachers have different effects. And the most that have changed was the one who was assigned to the committed Christian as her or his teacher. The values of this youth had shifted toward those of their leader. So napunta doon sa kanilang leader ang values na kanilang na-adopt coming from the leader. So those under, dito number 2 is modeling life-affirming values in society with fewer life-affirming models and more models of behavior that destructive self and other. This method of communicating values has taken critical importance, serving as a model and maybe the greatest contribution that a patient, a teacher, or a leader can make to a young person. So this is what we call modeling. They are looking at their leader. They are looking at their teacher, or they are looking at their therapists that are doing them progress in a way, and adapting their own values. Number 3 we have is gentle reasoning or induction. So we have young people are more likely to internalize values when an adult discusses and explains the reasonableness of moral teaching. Kapag na well-explained sa kanila yung isang precept, it is important to appeal to the child's internal resources for controlling and monitoring his or her own behavior. So, Search Institute did a massive study of some young adolescents and parents as well. Analyzing the data, we identified parents who used this reasoning approach with their children. So, mga parents na gumagamit sila ng reasoning approach, okay, so, bakit kailangan mo ito? That there must always be a reason. So, mayroon kang ibibigay na dahilan kung bakit ginagawa yon. So what did you find? A significant large number of adolescents had internalized the moral values cherished by their parents. So We found that their approach is far superior to ordering or dogmatically telling young people what they are to do. So, yung mga parents na yung meron silang values sa sarili nila na nais na nilang ipapasa doon sa kanilang mga anak ay successfully they have it transferred by what? Okay, by reasoning. Okay, it's by giving reasons for that particular um, thing that they want their children to have. So we found that this approach is far superior in ordering and dogmatically telling young people what they are to do. So pag nalaman nila yung reason, yeah, they are more prone to adopt it kaysa yung hindi talaga ikaw nagki-communicate sa kanila ng bakit bakit ito ay kailangan. Personal witness, a time-honored and effective method of communicating spiritual values is the verbal shares of belief. Okay, so we have this one, sharing of belief and values. So dito usually, normally, ay nakikita ng bata kung bakit, why do you believe on such particular thing? And then um, we have they have been witnessing for the thing that you are doing as parents in a special way or as teacher in a special way. You are well observed by them, and upon observing the learning process that you are giving them and uh, the lesson that you have presented to them, they now have that personal witnessing that you have given them that will affect them as your pupils or as your children in a way. So they can have that same uh, values that you verbally tell them, and belief that you are practicing on a daily basis. They are observing you as you are the witness, and uh, you are the personal witness, and they are uh, supposed to be the one who have seen your actions, your beliefs, your presentation, your verbal agreement with each other, so that it really affects them at their early age. So number 5, we have the written word. History is full of examples of people whose value orientation has been changed by what they read. That's why books are really very important to the homes. And like what I have earlier told, when my children are young, okay, give them Bible story books where there are values for every stories. For 409 stories, at the end of the stories, there is a value to be learned, and these values um, are intact in the minds of your children. So that also reading materials that are wholesome and worthwhile. Okay, that's why I also have magazines like Health and Home magazines, the Health and Home magazines, and my children are reading this also because there are portions for the children, for the teenagers, and for adults as well. My spiritual portion, my story time, merong counseling about marriage and also about parenting. So you can read all things. You can read varied things that we can. Yes. So that written words like books and magazines. Okay, this even history. We can say in history, I have learned about the life of history of the president of the United States, and the most loved president by me is no other than Abe Lincoln. Yes, Abraham Lincoln. I really appreciate the history of his life, even though the last part of his life is he was assassinated. But the early part of his training is his cravings, his love for books, really made him great person in during his time, and he spent most of the time, his vacant times, in reading reading books. So number 6, we have a religious orientation that emphasizes grace rather than law. Okay, ang isang religious presentation na nagpapakita sa atin ng biyaya at hindi yung kautusan. So the overwhelming evidence of research is that the attempt to control youth by rules and the regulations inclines some youth to reject the values being forced upon them. Pag ipipilit mo kasi yung rules, regulations, and the other ipipresent natin sa mga kabataan, ay the more that they are not so much interested of what you are talking about. But when you introduce the overwhelming evidence of research is that attempt to control youth means they have to reject it. And at least 4 major studies show that if a parent's teacher, pastor, or adult uses excessive control or punitive measures, may mga punishment na binibigay sa mga anak nila, or even the teacher, mga punishment na binibigay sa mga estudyante. Yeah. Kaya tinanggal na nga ngayon yung over strict. Nalala ko nung when I was in grade 1, sleep na po ako, replay ko na lang po bukas. Okay, sige Mayali, sige matulog ka na. Kasi malapit na rin ako matatapos naman. 1.5 hour lang, minsan 2. Pinakamaba ko yung 2 hours, pero ano. So dito, makita po natin that greater than their youth, we have the likelihood is greater than their youth. So, kapag martial law, ganon, ay usually yung mga bata nagkaroon sila ng no interest, parang nawawala yung interest nila. So, reject traditional moral standards. Nalala ko nung kami grade 1, ang aming teacher na, yung old style na teacher, panaabutan ko yon, grade 1 kami. Pagka hindi masagutan yung sagot sa yung classmate ko, binato ng eraser. Hindi na pwede ngayon yon. Not now. You cannot do it now. Tapos, pagka ito yung sa mga lalaki, pag mahaba yung inahawakan ito, tapos nataas. Hindi ko talaga makalimutan yung teacher na yon. And basta may mga punishment siya na ginagawa na hindi na allowed doon sa time natin ngayon, ay bawal na. So, siya lang, grade 1 ako noon. So, nung grade 2, grade 3, parang dahan-dahan na nawawala yung ganong style. Yung old traditional teachers nung panahon na yun. Dahan-dahan na sila na pinipace out kasi bago na yung educational system ng Philippines ay binago na. So, it was the shift. Naabutan ko yun nung grade 1 ako. Kaya, minsan pinapaluhod doon sa isang tabi. Pinapaluhod yung pagka nagkakamali ng mga classmate namin. Buti lang hindi ako. Kasi kung ako siguro baka iiyak na lang ako. So, we have reject the faith of the church kapag matindi yung pagiging martial law sa mga bata. Yung become more self-oriented. So, ito yung 4 na to ang kailangan ay maiwasan natin sa mga anak natin. By contrast, adults who emphasize commitment to Christ, His love and His promises. Ito sila yung mga anak nila yung, okay, His promises and His forgiveness will find a larger number of the youth accepting Christ, showing higher self-esteem, show more caring spirit, mas mapagmahal sila sa mga service kasi naging service-oriented sila, showing more caring spirit, becoming involved in service. Okay, yan sinabi ko kanina na service-oriented ang mga bata na na-introduce natin sa kanila yung Panginoong Jesus, hindi yung mga batas-batas na kung ano-ano. Showing a more, okay, they excel in academics. Yeah. And being hopeful about the future. Yeah. Usually, they excel in academics. Yeah. Buti lang mga anak ko mga ganun eh. They excel in academics. Talagang makikita mo yung mga grades nila ay nasa dean's lister sila, nasa principal's listers. Kasi they have they have their own reasons na they have why they are studying. So, naano natin sa kanila, na-inculcate natin sa mind nila na study is really an important factor in their lives. So, hindi tayo problema kasi may mga parent na problematic sila sa mga anak nila sa pag-aaral. Imagine, na nagagastos mo tapos hindi sila masyadong seryoso, di ba? They're not serious in their studies. So, ang laki ng tuition, ang laki ng, lalo pag sa ating school, sa AUP, Adventist University of the Philippines, sa MOMC, yan, nagkaroon estudyante ko na dyan na pumapasok, talagang matindi ang tuition. But I really don't, hindi ko naman doon sila pinasok kahit na kandahirap ng paghahanap ng pambayad. Pero they excel well in their academic classes as well as in the church activities at the same time. Active sila sa church. Active sila sa school. Active din sila sa church. So, it's because you have trained them in a way that itong mga values na to ay na-i-instill natin sa kanilang mga isipan, and this will never be taken from them. Nandun na sa kanilang isipan yung mga values na in-introduce natin sa kanila at pinakita natin sa kanila to the life that they live, and through the what we call priorities na nakikita natin. Alika Coco na nakikita natin sa ating Tayo na, si Coco gusto nga makita. Ay, si Coco gusto lang niya magpakita dito. Ko, you say hello, hello? Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Nandito si Coco. Okay. Those people who use love, acceptance, Coco, and forgiveness are people who trust the power of the Holy Spirit. Yeah, they trust the power of the Holy Spirit and create a moral immune system in young people. Rico, this enables them to say to life-denying activities and yes to the activities that are life-affirming. Ayan, ano ba yan si Coco? Anong kagat-gat? O sige, kagatin mo. Sige, kagat-gat ka dyan. Anong kinakagat mo dyan? Sige. Naantok na si Coco. Naantok ka na ba ko? Ha? Sleepy ka na ba? Rico, nilalawayan mo ako eh. Yan o, say hello. Hello. Hello, Coco. Natawag ka, Coco, ni Avinash. Coco, host lecturer. Yeah, makulit siya. Okay, Coco. Feeling sleepy ka na daw, Coco? Sleep ka na ba? Ha? Sleepy ka na talaga? Pati ako, inaano mo, ha? Oh, doon ka lang humarap. Yan! Okay. Alam, makulit. Okay. So, I give points na. Okay, bago ako mag-ano ng 1 to 5. Okay, mag-ano na kayo para sa inyong points. Pagkatapos ko ng bilang ng 1 to 5, wala na. Bye-bye, Coco. Okay, yung nandyan, sinong nandyan? Si MM, okay. Okay. Type 1 ang nandyan. Type 1. Si MM, okay. M, you have 2 points sa pag-stay mo. Sino pa? Wala na. Avinash, okay, you have 2 points. Avinash. You have advanced 2 points, Avinash. Okay, meron pa. Bago ako magka-count ako ng 1 to 5. After na mag-count ako ng 1 to 5, wala nang points na ibibigay, ha? Wala na points na ibibigay. Ibig sabihin, wala kayo nung nag-lecture. Okay, wala na. Press 1. Sige, sulat ko nga. Press 1 before I count. Yung dalawa po, di nagpe-press. Sino kaya ang dalawa dyan na hindi nagpe-press 1? So, mga visitor ko lang yan na parati nakatambay lang yon. Pero ayaw na sumali sa paraffle. Ganun lang yon. Mga friends ko lang yon na nakatambay-tambay. Okay. Ayan, si Sarah. Sarah, press 1 ka, Sarah. Okay, yes. Sarah, you have 2 points. Sarah Gay, so you have a total of 4 points. Si Avinash, okay, meron ka na Avinash, di ba? Sino pa? Glycel. Sa Glycel, you have... Okay, may 4 points ka, Glycel, kanina. So, you have... Okay, you have 1 advanced, Glycel, and 1 raffle entry. Glycel. Si Shirley Daog. Si Shirley kanina, meron na. Si Shirley mayroon kang 1 point kanina, plus 1. You have 3 points as of now, Shirley. Si Sir Hill. Sir Hill, you have 4 points kanina, Sir Hill. So you have 1 raffle entry at saka advance na 1 point. Sir Hill, advance. We have Jane Rivera. Tingnan ko si Jane. You have 2 points kanina, Jane. Plus 2 ngayon, so you have 4. Si SG Nevada. SG Nevada. May 1 point ka SG kanina, plus 2. Kaya you have 3 points sa ngayon. And, okay, si MM. May 2 points ka kanina, M na advance. Ano ba yan? Okay. So you have 4 points, M. 4 points ka sa ngayon. Yes. Ready guys, host playing raffle. Talaga si Avinas. Inuunahan mo ako ha. Opo, ma'am. Salamat. Pa talaga, Avinash. Wala naman ako sinasabi ah. Wala naman ako sinasabi, Avinash, ha? Bukas na lang tayo magpa-raffle siguro. Tomorrow na lang. Tomorrow. Okay, so mayroon pa akong last na okay, para madagdagan kayo ng 2 points. Yeah, tomorrow na tayo kasi tatapusin ko lang tong aking the last part. Pinaka-last part ng passing the torch. Okay. So, ang sinasabi ng passing the torch is passing our values to our children. Okay. Sa mga teachers naman, passing their values to their pupils. So, ang mga parents have this responsibility, and sa mga school naman, ang mga teachers have this same responsibility to their children. Okay, with their children, as in children in the homes or children, because teachers are considered as the second parents. So, may responsibility din sila sa kanilang mga student. Aray ko, ano ba to? So, I want to discuss this last part. Okay, it says here, our children today stand in the cross current of two sets of conflicting values. So ano ba to? One is the older set of moral and spiritual values, and we cherish and want to pass on as a legacy to the future. One is the older set of moral values and spiritual values we cherish and want to pass it on a legacy to the future. So may dalawa. Ito yung tinatawag natin na modern concept ng ating mga value transfer, and nakabase po ito sa dalawa. Yung isa ay naandun siya sa through the grace of God, okay, forgiveness, through service-oriented service that we can give to other people, and we have showing higher self-esteem para sa mga sarili nyo na nare-reflect naman sa mga anak ninyo. And the other one is ang ating pinaka-old system na measures na ginagawa natin na may kasamang mga punishment, and then may mga rules and regulations tayo na parating ini-inject natin sa mga anak natin na ito ang dapat gawin, ito dapat yung gagawin, o ito dapat yung hindi gagawin. So, i-impose natin yung by force, and in so much so na yung mga bata ay instead of following, they reject. Kasi pinipersa natin, pinipilit. Pero yung sa pangalawang set, in a way that we present to them through the merits of Christ, yung forgiveness, yung pagiging loving, accept or their acceptance no matter what yung kanilang kalagayan ay, and giving them what we call trust to the power of the Lord. So ito yung contrast na sinasabi na two groups of values that we can pass through, the torch that we are going to pass through to the children, and this will be the legacy that we are going to leave behind. dahil tayo, yung mga parents, tumatanda at later on, mawawala na ang mga bata ngayon, yung mga anak ninyo, yung magdadala ng torch, the torch of that values that have been passed by you to them. Okay, sila naman ngayon ang magdadala ng mga possibilities that later on will be handed down to the next generation. So, depende so how well you presented your life or how well you values the things that God has entrusted to you, and how well you have live a life as a model, as an example to your children, that they are going to bear that torch and pass that to the next generation with that same value that you have passed to them as your legacy to your children. So we have here, okay, these are the legacy to the future that we can pass to them. Caring for one's family. Okay, kapag nakita kasi ng mga anak natin na we care for the other families yung around us, makikita nila na how you have mercy on those people, especially the less fortunate, ay ito rin ay madidevelop din sa kanila. You know why? Because they are looking at you as their model. And when you care for other families, they also have that same attitude later when they grow up. They will also have care for other families around them. And then doing good to others, yung paggawa ng mabuti, kahit sabihin mo na nga sa ating panahon ngayon, gumagawa ka ng mabuti, tapos minsan niloloko ka pa, di ba? Kaya tinutulungan mo sila, tapos in the end, ay yung pala ay parang niloloko ka lang. Pero hindi tayo magsasawa sa paggawa ng ganon. Kasi marami na tayo na-encounter. Kahit sa amin, marami kaming encounter na ganon. But hindi tayo talagang manghihinayang kasi ang Panginoon nilang nakaalam sa mga ginawa natin sa kanila, ay later ma-realize nila na ang Panginoon ay kasama mo habang ginagawa mo yon. Sige, okay, protecting the powerless. Yan, kung may nakikita tayo na inaapi at hindi natin, especially pag kapitbahay natin yon, and then we really cannot be contented na pabayaan lang natin or hindi natin tutulungan. So we must help ng mga injustice na nangyayari ay kailangan ay kung mayroong capacity tayo to defend, ay bakit hindi? Gagawin natin yung kaparaanan na gagawin natin. Showing generosity and mercy. Yung pagpapakita ng pagiging mabait or pagiging mapagbigay. And then, what you call mercy is kaawaan sa mga kapwa natin. Next we have is keeping promises. Yan, isa sa mga nakikita ng mga anak natin ay pag nangako tayo. So, better not promise at all. Kung sa palagay mo hindi mo matupad yon, huwag ka nang mangako. Kasi mahirap eh. Mahirap mangako tapos hindi mo talaga naibigay. Mga hahanap-hanapin talaga ng mga bata yung pinangako. Di ba sinabi mo ganito, bibilhan mo ako ng ganito, gadget or whatever, ay kung mayroon tayong mga promise na naibigay sa kanila, be sure you're gonna do it. Kailangan ay gagawin mo yon. Pero kung sa palagay mo ay alanganin ka na gagawin yung promise na yon, you better not promise para hindi ka masira sa kanila, either sa iyong anak or sa iyong mga pupils. So, sa pupils ko, yan sinasabi ko parati. pagka may mga good deeds sila, sabi ko, +5, may +5 ka. And then, pagka minsan may time na nakalimutan ko na teacher, may +5 ba ako? May +5 ba ako? Sabi ko, ay, oo nga pala. Oo nga pala, may +5 ka. O, saka ko palang na, kasi they will always remind you na yun ay napangako mo. Kaya sa mga anak ko nung maliit pa, hindi ako talaga nangangako na o bibilang kita ng bagong shoes o bibigyan kita ng bagong dress. Kasi hindi ko naman alam talaga kung kaya ko. Kasi 3 sila, di ba? I am the only one earning for the family. So I don't promise anything. Hindi ako nangako o bigyan kita ng cellphone pag ikaw ay maging top 1 or top 2. Hindi ko ginagawa yon. So sinabi ko lang, blow out na lang kita. Blow out na lang tayo. Kakain tayo sa labas. Parang ganon. Pero yung bibili ako ng something na something that is worth an amount na maybe ay magiging incapacitated ako na ibigay yon. Hindi ko talagang ipapangako. So, blow out, okay lang, kakain sa labas. Parang pero yung mga malalaking items na, ganito, I really don't promise my children kasi hahanapin nila sa akin yun pag pinangako. So we have postponing gratification. Okay. Postponing gratification. Ay postpone mo yung pagiging pagkokontento o pag-gratify ng iyong sarili. So the other is the self-serving values of today's society. Okay. Self-serving values ng society sa ngayon, sa modern. We have here also 6, looking out for yourself. Yung paghahanap mo ng iyong sarili, okay. So, letting instincts be your guide. So, kung anong instinct na feel mo, parang iyon ang sa palagay mo lang yon. Halimbawa, kung anong instinct, may instinct ako na ganito na ganon. So, ang sinusunod nila, yung instinct nila, without any other pag-iisip kung talagang ba yon, is it true or valuable ba yan. So, they have that guide for themselves na ang ginagamit lang nila is their instinct. So, pag feel niya, oo. Pero pag hindi, parang ganon. Diba? So, not making commitments. Ayan. Isa sa mga walang commitment. So, ito yung modern ng mga the other side of what I have discussed a while ago. No, nothing commitment. Hindi mag-ano ng commitment or basta lang, wala lang, ganun lang. Parang nothing more. No commitment. Okay. Okay lang kung okay rin kung hindi. Parang ganun yung idea. And then we have number 4 is seeking material success. So, ang hinahanap ay magpapadami ng materials, accumulation, money, kasama doon. So, ang mga values na pagpapayaman, parang mas pagpaparami ng pera, yun ang usually na inculcate sa mga minds ng mga bata without thinking na hindi naman talaga pera magpapasaya sa tao, di ba? Mas mahalaga yung relationship, mas mahalaga pa rin yung values na iniingatan natin na that should be seen in us, na wala tayong inaapakan tao or basta we are doing what is right and in the face uh, of God and in the face of men, we do the right thing. Honest to goodness, parang ganon. Dito ay wala. Basta magkapera, okay. Ganun lang yung ano nila. Basta yumaman. And then number 5 is getting immediate gratification. So, ang gusto, kapag gusto yung isang bagay, agad-agad kukunin. So, hindi kagaya doon sa other, ano na, we can, we can postpone the gratification. Yung, pwede natin ma-postpone yung pag-gratify ng ating mga sarili. But here, the other side is getting immediate gratification. Agad-agad. Gusto ay maangkin agad isang bagay no matter what. So that's the other side of the values that we are talking about. And then we have is number 6, defining morality as you choose. You define morality as you choose it. So, hindi ka tumitingin sa um, moral values na that is supposed to be the norm. Ang gusto mo lang na values ay kung ano yung gusto mo. That uh, for you that is a good moral. But in the face of society and the face of God, it's not. So you have your own um, moral standard of your own, and not in accordance with God. This is God had set the moral standard in the Ten Commandments, right? So, sa iyo, dito sa modern society, ay pinipili mo yung sarili ng morality. You have to choose your own. Gusto ko ito, and here, I want it. Ganun. So you have to naging self-made morality ang iyong pinahalagahan. Not the morality that the norm that God has given to man, that was passed from generation to generation up to our time. So this is value conflicts. Okay, these value conflicts are very evident and very much seen in our times, that these conflicts are happening to our children and to our pupils. So that's why makikita po natin dito na may mga kabataan talaga na um, they have to choose their own way of uh, doing things, and not minding if their parents will be saddened by their decision or whatever they do. Wala silang pakialam doon. As long as they want it, they have to do it. Okay? So passing the torch is the most important thing that we can give to our children, the legacy that we are going to have for our children, for whatever we value most. These are the things that will be valued by them later on in the future. So passing the torch, these um, values that we can give to our children will later define them as themselves when they choose that particular values that will be passed by their parents to their children or by the teacher to their pupils. So how do we do? How do we pass the torch of this legacy that we are going to uh, leave behind to our children, to our pupils as well? So thank you, and may God bless us tonight as uh, we value on the things that are very important to us. Okay, so this is the last uh, time, the last points that I'm giving you. Sino yung nandyan? Okay. Ang ita-type nyo ngayon ay you are going to type A. Iba-iba yung nilalagay ko para sa bawat ano ha. Yes, ang dami ko pong natutunan. Thank you naman. The Health and Home Magazine yan na lahat ha. Ems, Health and Home Magazine ang ating. Okay, SG Nevada, yes, you have. Okay, SG Nevada, you have 3 points ka kanina. So I give you 2 points para meron kang raffle. Another. Okay, di ba? Nakadalawa na si SG ng raffle entry. SG Nevada, back to 0. Pero may 1 raffle entry ka ngayon. Okay? Sino ang sunod? Si MM. MM, ilan ka na M? Si MM, may 4 points ka M. So, you have 1 raffle entry ulit. Okay? And the 1 advance. May natitira kang isang advance M. Okay. And you have 1 raffle entry. Tapos, si nag-type A, Jane Rivera. Jane, you have 4 points kanina. So, plus 2. You have 1 advance and 1 raffle entry, si Jane Rivera. Okay, next, type A, si Sarah. Sarah, you have 4 points kanina, Sarah. Okay, so you have, okay, 1 raffle entry and 1 advance, 1 point advance, Sarah. Sarah Gay Adavan. You have 1. Okay, sunod kay Sarah si Glycel. Glycel. May 1 point ka Glycel kanina plus 2 ngayon. So you have 3 again. 3 points ka ulit. So bukas ka na makabuo ng another. Okay, Shirley Daog. Shirley. You have 3 points Shirley kanina. So plus 2 points you have 1 raffle entry back to 0 ka. Shirley Daog. Yes, Shirley. You have 1 raffle entry back to 0. Sir Hill Adavan. Sir Hill, meron ka kanina 1 point na advance. So plus 2. You have 3 points, Sir Hill. Bukas ka na makabuo, Sir Hill, ha? Ng ano mo. Ng another. Kasi nakabuo ka na kanina ng isa. Next is, meron pa ba? Ay, wala na, natulog na si, si kasama mo kanina dyan. Si Maya natulog na. Paalam. Yes, okay. So, good night. Yes, Sarah, thank you. So, we're going to pray na. Shall we pray? Father in heaven, thank you for being with us tonight. And thus we are about to end this stream. We thank you for the message that we have learned. It will help us that the things that we are going to pass, the legacy, the values that we are going to pass to our children will be their legacy in the next generation to come. And pray, Father, that these values will be seen to their lives because we set them as priority in our lives today. Thank you for the promise that will be with us and guide us all throughout. And thank you for the promise of protection here as we sleep tonight. Thank you for hearing and answering our prayers. In Jesus' wonderful name, amen. Yes, thank you, thank you. Good night, good night. Okay. So, we have to... Ay, kumawawala ako. May ikot-ikot yung ano. Yes, amen, amen, Ems. Okay, May ayos lang ako dito muna. Ayusin ko yung mga points muna ulit na natira. Bago ako mag-close. So we have 2 million in the house. The-transfer ko kasi to. Medyo magulo na yung record. Magulo na ang record. Tapusin ko lang to. Amen. Salamat. Saan? Ayos ko lang yung record. Magulo na yung record. Wong Shai. Si Wong Shai pala yun. Hindi na nakabalik. Wong Shai. 3. Tapos si Rose and Philip. Rose and Philip. And Bambitas.
Nani, tayo po kahapon po. Ano na lang?
Are you done?
Ha?
Are you done?
Done? Oo.
Oh, akala ko ba tapos ka na?
Ay, hindi pa. Mag-close pa pala ako, no? Bakit? Nire-record ko lang para madagdagan lang yung aking...
Madami
Bye-bye.
mo tayo.
Yes! Bye. Thank you. And stream na ako.